Should we all become vegan to reduce our carbon footprints? Hi, I'm Andrew Harwood. The term veganism has drawn a lot of attention worldwide in recent years and has become quite a contentious topic. In some social circles, the term vegan has been used as quite a derogatory term towards this somewhat minority group of people. I would like to take an objective look into the vegan movement and to find out if this radical abandonment of all animal products is really that beneficial to the environment. In this short presentation, I'm going to investigate the relationship between climate change, people and culture, and why there is so much division towards people adopting a vegan diet. And I'm also going to investigate what scientific evidence says about the influence meat industry has on carbon emissions. And finally, I'm going to take a look at what benefits could be gained from going vegan.
What is a vegan? Consumers adopting a vegan diet refrain from consuming any animal-derived product. This includes not only butchered meat, but also dairy, eggs and other animal-based food ingredients. Currently, vegan consumers only represent a small part of the population. A growing population. According to the UN, the world's population is expected to grow by 9.8 billion by 2050. The continued population growth and demographic changes such as populations moving out of poverty may in turn see an increase in demand for animal products, particularly meat and dairy, which suppliers need to fulfill. It has been estimated that by 2050 milk and meat production will increase by 58 and 73% respectively if trends increase at the current rate. Animal welfare concerns have been a moral factor behind vegan and vegetarian ideologies for centuries, but in recent years, with greater knowledge on influences of climate change and greenhouse gas emissions, raises more questions about the sustainability of industrialized meat industry. The apparent disconnection between what is now known about climate change and how it is intrinsically related to cultural values and individual choices of our everyday lives is a gap that people need to address if these issues are to be dealt with meaningfully and effectively. The fact is that climate change is real. Worldwide impacts are becoming more visibly evident, especially in developing nations. However, Western developed populations have still been disconnected from the evidence of climate change. The disassociation removes the connection that climate change has with the social and cultural practices of our daily lives, when in fact climate change is intimately bound up in our daily activities, choices in consumer products and produce. To create more sustainable societies involves significant changes to our lifestyles, which raises the question, how do we achieve this? The hard facts. There is urgent need to stop pillaging natural resources and to restrict global warming to less than 2 degrees, whilst providing food for a growing global population. The fact is, agriculture currently emits 14.5% of all anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions and uses 70% of all fresh water and utilizes 1/3 of all cultivatable land. It is estimated that greenhouse gas emissions will continue to raise up to 150% of current levels by 2030. For this reason, implementing better carbon reduction practices, especially in agriculture and consumption, is imperative to curb the effects of global warming. One's carbon footprint is intrinsically influenced by nutritional styles. Western diets are especially bad, with trends seeing high daily intake of animal produce. Analysis of different diets of an ecological measure show that vegan diets significantly reduces one's influence on carbon emissions. However, a diet choice is a personal matter and a difficult topic to address from a political point of view. Non-government organisations aiming to reduce emissions have not addressed the issue relating to diet choices for fear of alienating people and for tackling what is perceived to be a personal matter, and that is fundamentally one's choice to eat whatever they like. This ideology has also caused people to renounce veganism as an extreme view, which offends people that feel that there is nothing wrong with eating meat or the supporting industry. Governments have also not tackled the diet issue for fear that promoting the reduction or eliminating meat and dairy will cause too much contention, which may affect their campaigning efforts and economic interests. The lack of governing input to mediate the climate threat of the meat and dairy industry shows how consumption preferences are embedded within existing cultural social practices. What benefits could be going vegan, you might say? There is a growing body of evidence that support major potential dietary changes to improve health and reduce environmental impacts. Studies have showed moderate health gains and reduction in mortality rates of shifts from diets with high meat intake to plant-based diets. Comparisons of diets also suggest the vegan diet is optimal diet for sustainability due to its results in the lowest level GHG emissions. It is important to note any substantial reduction in consumption of meat products is beneficial.
In conclusion, food production is a major driver of greenhouse gas emissions, water and land use, and dietary risk factors are contributors to non-communicable diseases. Shifts in dietary patterns can therefore potentially provide benefits for both the environment and health. However, there is uncertainty about the magnitude of these impacts and how governments and policymakers could facilitate the necessary changes considering economic factors and how to achieve them. The resounding point that keeps coming up when it comes to reducing one's carbon footprint is personal choices, and if one of them is to eat more sustainably and avoid unsustainable animal produce, you could contribute to the global reduction of carbon emissions, which is working towards securing a better future for the next generation. Thanks for listening.